Welcome back. And sadly, we remember the life of Tyler Buffington, who passed away a few days ago. Rest in peace, Tyler. Last time we talked about Tyler's hockey and baseball in early days, and today we continue from there. Tyler was a gifted athlete, and athletics were a big part of his life growing up, and I did my best to support that. Tyler's first year at El Medina High School, he played the sophomore freshman baseball team. He was a baseball player, and he was a starter. I believe it was a third base. He played really well. He had a great season, and he had a good time. We also took 5 or 6 family vacations on the Carnival cruise lines to Mexico. It was a great time. All you could eat food, 24 hours, pizza bar. The kids had a great time. We also took a lot of family vacations to Hawaii, Oahu. Tyler loved it. We enjoyed it. It was a family event. And one time we took a family vacation to the Philippines. And Tyler and Mackenzie, they just had a blast. All the kids, the local Philippine kids, they just love Tyler and Mackenzie. They enjoyed the tropical island, they had parties, they had a good time. Also, in Tyler's first year of high school, he wrestled. Tyler was a wrestler, and he was in the 165-pound wrestling class. He was good. He learned those moves fast. I never was into wrestling, but Tyler was good. He was so good, he went undefeated. I think his record was like 42 or 44-0. He had mostly knockouts, and he was the Century League champion. Because of his championship, Tyler was invited for the California State Wrestling Championship in Bakersfield, California. That was his first year of wrestling ever. He didn't even know a move. And he just kept winning and winning. And he got to the finals. And he finally lost to the champion, the California. There's 3,200 schools, by the way, in California. And that was a lot of kids wrestling. And Tyler ended up his first year as a sophomore wrestling against the seniors, number 7 in the state of California. As we mentioned, Tyler was a drummer. He was an expert drummer. We gave him lessons. He just got better and better. He had the band called Trademark Sally. I'm wearing this shirt. This is a shirt that Tyler gave me for his band. I was kind of like a manager of his band, driving him around to all the concerts, and they had a really good band. It was Mike Bailey, it was Tyler Wynn, and Tyler Buffington. I would drive the guys to Hoagie Barmichael's in Costa Mesa. They'd play their concerts. They were short sometimes of the ticket sales. I'd buy their tickets. Also, they just played away. They won the Battle of the Bands. Tyler, Mike, and Tyler were really good. Also, Trademark Sally, they played at the Costa Mesa Speedway. It was the Costa Mesa Speedway on Saturday night. They had a concert before the races, during the intermission, and Tyler, and Mike, they did a fantastic job. can see their videos on Trademark Sally at the YouTube. Just type in Trademark Sally. One time, the boys, they promised Mackenzie they're going to have a concert for her birthday. She was so excited. She brought all of her classmates over, and the boys had a concert in the garage. And everybody was waiting, and they opened the door. The boys, Tyler, and Mike, they wore these masks, these hoods, and they played a concert. It was like a joke for Mackenzie. Everybody laughing. And those guys were just characters. And they had a fun time. Also, Tyler worked for me in my construction business I had for like 20 years in Orange, California. And Tyler was a good worker. I would tell Tyler one time how to do something, and Tyler would remember, and he would do it. He was a genius guy. I thought he was better than me. And I had been working for some time in that business. So Tyler was an amazingly gifted person. He picked it up so fast. He was a very smart guy. I also remember one time when Tyler came up to me and said, "Dad, I want to take a vacation with my good buddy Jake, and we're going to drive around the United States." It was during the winter. It was very cold. And I said, "No, Tyler, you got school." And he said, "No, Dad, I'm going to go." And I said, "Oh, we're fighting." I'm like, "No, you're not going to go. You're going to go to school." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going." Tyler had a mind of his own. He was his own man. And he left. He left the house with Jake. They went around for 2 weeks all over Arizona and Utah and Nevada and all over the place. They had all these wild experiences. I heard a few of the stories. I'm surprised he came home alive, actually. But Tyler was a free spirit. He did what he wanted to do, and I could not stop him. After high school, Tyler got a job working at Mastro's. And it's a restaurant. It's a high-level, high-class restaurant. They have a Newport Beach, Huntington Beach. He was a server to start off with, and he worked himself up to one of the level managers. He was a manager. He worked for 10 years for Mastro's, and he got to meet a lot of the professional baseball players. We talked about Freddie Freeman in the last video. Freddie Freeman came in with the Atlanta Braves, but Tyler was a good worker. He did a great job, and he was very successful. Before the pandemic started, Tyler and his girlfriend, they wanted to come, Taylor and Tyler, they wanted to come to the Philippines and live. And I was thinking about it, and then the pandemic started, and he could not come. Rest in peace, Tyler. Nobody knew that this tragedy would happen. He left behind a family who really loved him, so many friends from high school, the band, the sports. Everybody loved Tyler, and Tyler had so many friends. Let us remember Tyler for the good person he was. He was just a nice guy. He was a cool dude. He had a very mellow disposition. He was a good guy. And he was loved by many. His family, his friends, everybody loved Tyler Buffington.